YouTube, why do you always go and change things that are working? Why, when something isn't broke, do you continually try to fix it? Is it because you pay these developers all this money and they have to have something to do and you're like, hey, we don't have anything else to do, everything's working great, let's... Hello, David Foster here with Live Streaming Pros, where we show you how to create more professional live video and video recording studios. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how YouTube just made a right now. All right, so this is YouTube. This is the dark mode. If you're not a dark mode person, come on, what's wrong with you? Dark mode is the best. Dark mode everything. Now they're working on dark mode for YouTube Studio as well. Some of the areas are dark, some of them aren't. I don't know why some are and some aren't. I don't know. Is it that hard to just click on dark mode? I don't know. From a developer standpoint, it must be fairly hard because it's not all dark, but I digress. And now I'm going to show you how you access the streamer dashboard. So what you're going to do is you're going to go over to your channel icon up in the top right. You're going to click on it and you're going to go to YouTube Studio. Once you're in YouTube Studio, you're going to click on this middle icon that says Go Live. And this is the Stream Now dashboard. This is where you will come if you want to go live now. I'm going to talk about that, but I'm going to recommend that you do not use this section unless you absolutely have to. If you're somebody who's just dead set on using this, I can't stop you, but I'm going to show you a more efficient way to do this that you can still go live now, but you're going to, it's almost like they're giving you a go live checklist, because one thing that always happened with us, we would use the stream now and somebody would be like, oh, nobody changed the title, oh, nobody changed the description, because when you go live, if you set this up with the same stream keys that you have down here, every time you go live, the titles will be the same and the description will be the same unless you come in here and click edit and physically edit that stuff. If you do that, then it's absolutely fine. It will work. But the scheduling side helps you remember to do all of that right out of the gate, and you don't have to worry about coming in here and doing it on this page. So I'm going to show you how to do that. First of all, if you are dead set on using the stream now, all you have to do is come to this page. You're going to click on edit, and this is where you can edit your title. You can make it public, unlisted, whatever, add your description, add your whatever it is, what topic it falls under, change your thumbnail, enable monetization, and then select that it's not made, or if it is made for kids or not made for kids. Then you're going to click save, and then you've just got your stream key. If you already have that in your software, it's going to stay exactly the same. So you just grab your URL, grab your stream key, and then you can select ultra low latency. But I'm going to show you some settings that you're getting inside of the scheduler that are a lot cooler than here, because I found in my testing that when I send a signal to the stream now section, it will go live on its own automatically, but I found that it's about a 10 to 15 minute delay before it actually stops your stream, which means 10 to 15 minutes after your stream, you can have just a black screen. And you can go in and cut that out after the fact, but if you're somebody who likes to keep your live chat up for people to view after the fact, that will go away if you shave off any of your beginning or end. So you don't really want to do that. So maybe that's something YouTube will change to where it is, you know, when you start, it goes live. When you stop, it automatically stops like right away. I don't know. We don't know until, like, they're not saying anything. They've not given us any updates as to what's coming or whatever. So we're kind of at their mercy to see what happens. So for now, I'm going to show you the better way to do it, in my opinion. And then for those of you that want to just go live with a webcam, this is where you would do that. You click on the webcam icon right here, and then you select your webcam from the drop down and everything. You can go live with your webcam. I don't recommend doing that because you're not going to get good quality. This is still going through the browser, and no browser-based stream is going to be as good as going through your RTMP, going with like making a direct connection to the platform. So I'd always skip this one, but if you absolutely, like if you have a Logitech C920, you got it hooked up and it's the way you want to go live, do it. Don't have excuses. If that's all you got, go. And now this here is where you can manage and schedule your streams. Now this is my favorite section right now, because this is going to be a great way for you to create your stream and then just replicate it every time, so that your description will be the same, and then all you got to do is edit your title and maybe your thumbnail. So there are some streamers that use the same thumbnail whenever they go live, which is fine. We like to use custom thumbnails, and this will allow you to do that. And we go live 4 days a week. So I'm going to show you a strategy that we use to make sure that we have stream keys for each day. And what that does is makes it a lot easier for descriptions, thumbnails, all that stuff. And also for the person, Alyssa, who is on our team that goes in and schedule these, she knows which stream key to pick, and then I know which stream key we're using every day. And that's on Live Streaming Pros. I'm showing you right now in my Geeks Life channel because we've got other streams scheduled in Live Streaming Pros, but I'll get in there and show you that in just a minute. So all you have to do is click schedule stream over here, and you have the ability to copy a stream that you did in the past, which if you just did one, let's say you did a stream yesterday, your title was good, your description was good, your thumbnail was good, and you want to reuse that, just click on reuse settings, and that's going to reuse the exact settings you used, and then you can still go in and edit the thumbnail, the title, and all that other stuff. But in this case, I'm going to create new, and I'm going to give it an awesome title, and I'm going to make it unlisted because I don't want to, you know, put that in. I'm going to put in a description of some kind. Now I'm going to put in your amazing description and choose your science and technology, your topic, and then you can schedule the time. So I'm going to do this for, let's do it for Halloween, and let's do it right at midnight because, you know, the witching hour. Boom. Enable monetization, and then we can upload a custom thumbnail. I'll just pick that for now. And no, it is definitely not made for kids. I'm going to create stream. All right, now that stream has been created. Now what I need to do is I need to come in here, and this is where I can make my changes. Now, stream keys. Let's talk about stream keys for a second because this is very, very, very important. YouTube gives you one that is a variable. You cannot change that. It's going to be the default that it goes to every single time you create a new stream. So for those of you wanting the stream now, you technically could use this, but it's a variable bitrate. I don't want variable. I want to be able to have more control. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to manage my keys. Now I created one called Geeks Life Main. That is the stream key that I'm going to use for all of my streams. But let me show you how to do this really quick. Come in to manage your keys, and then the variable one that it's going to create, just title it, click on the pencil here and type do not use. You do not want to use this variable key because you have no control over it whatsoever. And you also can't change it to 60 frames per second. We stream in 60 frames per second. If you want to take your streams to where they look like they are much better, change them to 60 frames per second. A lot of people tell you, well, don't do that unless you're gaming or doing sports or whatever. No, people see a difference even in our streams and comment on it all the time. And the key is because we're at 60 frames per second. So I'm going to cancel this and I'll show you how to create a new key. So I'm going to create a new key and I'm going to call this Geeks Life Test because we're just testing. And then I want my bit rate to be at 3,000 to 6,000 kilobits because I'm only going to stream in 1080. I have a whole video that you can get to from the info card above where I talk about why you do not want to stream in 4K. Go watch that video. It's very important. I know we're always like, ooh, 4K. I got to stream in 4K. I'm so cool. No, don't do it. Go watch that video. Unless you're doing like concerts and stuff like that, just go watch the video. So I'm going to choose 3,000 to 6,000 kilobits per second, and then I'm going to enable 60 frames per second. Now I'm going to create that key. That key has now been created. So that's the key I'm going to use for this stream. And I'm going to come down and I want to select ultra low latency. Ultra low latency is the best setting to use if you want to have real-time conversation, well, near real-time conversation with your audience, which is very important. If you're trying to build a community, you are live streamers, that is what you want to do, ultra low latency. If for some reason you end up with people with buffering issues and stuff like that, then go low latency. But I find that if you just keep it around 6,000 kilobits per second, we've not had people having those issues. What will happen though is if you select ultra low latency and you select 1080 and 60 frames per second, if for some reason you send 8,000 kilobits per second, which is 8 megs, if you send that, then you're going to get jittering, stuttering. Luria accidentally did that last week. She went with 1440, which was higher, and people were getting buffering issues. It was skipping, it was jumping. So you got to really make sure that you do your streaming settings the same way. And I'll show you really quickly how I have my stream settings set up after I go through this. So we're also going to enable auto start, enable, and we're going to enable auto stop. And what that does is this means once this key starts getting a signal, you start sending a signal, it's going to say, oh, I got a signal, start the stream. And then when you stop sending your signal from your software, it's going to say, oh, no more signal, let's stop. And that's what you want because you don't want to have to come in here. If you don't do that, you have to come in and manually start it and manually stop it. And that's no fun. You don't want to do that. And then enable DVR. This is a personal preference. If you want your viewers to be able to come in to your stream and be able to rewind it, go watch from the middle, go watch from the beginning. If they get there late, keep that enabled. If you don't want them to have that ability, you want them to get in, and if they come in late, they watch you from where you are at that moment, which can be beneficial, because sometimes if you have a really popular stream with a lot of chatters, what can happen is somebody can come in and they start it from the beginning, and then they're commenting with everybody else, and their comments are way out of context because they're talking about something that happened 30 minutes ago, an hour ago. So that's why sometimes you might want to disable that. We keep it enabled because we don't usually get that problem. Every once in a while, we'll have somebody comment on something. We'll be like, oh, they're talking about something that happened a lot earlier. Not a big deal. And then you've got closed captions, unlist the live once it ends. So if you are somebody who doesn't want to keep your live videos listed, then go ahead and select that. We're working on a video to talk about whether you should list or unlist them after the fact. So watch for that. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel to get updates as to when that video comes out. And then through here, you've got your analytics, viewer activity, stream health, and all that. But that stuff does not do anything until you are actually live. And then you've also got a gear up here. This gear allows you to turn on embedding if you want to embed this on another website. And then this is important as well. You want to make sure that if your video contains any kind of ad placement, any kind of sponsorship, you want to make sure you select this, because if you don't, you can actually lose your YouTube channel with 3 strikes. You don't want to get strikes. And you got monetization. If you're approved for monetization, then you want to select this, and this you don't need to do anything. And then live chat, if you want to have your live chat on for your stream, set that here. Allow that to replay. So that means when your live stream replay is playing, the chat will actually scroll like it was while you were live. If you want that to be there, then select that. Now, if you're somebody who's getting a lot of chatters on your channel, you may want to enable slow mode. And what that is if somebody types this message, they're not allowed to send another message for the time that you set here. It's defaulted to 60 seconds, which means if I send a message in your chat, I try to send one in 30 seconds, it says I'm on a cooldown period. I can't send a message for another 30 seconds. That is a great way to keep a kind of conversation under control if you've got thousands of viewers. Generally, you don't need to turn this on. We don't ever worry about it. So I'm going to shut that off. And then this right here is the share link. This gives you the link to the actual video so that you can share that out in email or any of the things above here. And now that I'm done with the test, I'm going to show you how, if you're somebody who's been streaming for a while, you may have a ton of stream keys. You want to come in and definitely delete the ones you're not going to use. So come in here and we're going to delete Geeks Life Test, delete key. I'm going to close. It's probably going to resort back to the do not use. It did. I'm going to select the Geeks Life main. It's going to update that, and now that is set. So now I'm going to come back into the dashboard to manage all streams, and because this isn't actually a stream, I'm going to select here and I'm going to select delete forever. I understand, and delete. That's how you get rid of any streams that you've scheduled that you may not want to use. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the method that I'm using over at Live Streaming Pros, which is going to help us save some confusion and time when we're scheduling our streams. So I set up stream keys Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. 4 keys. Once we've completed a week, which we have already, now when Alyssa comes in to